She speaks English a lot better than I do. I think people understand what she's saying.
Too many good docs are getting out of business. Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their love with women all across this country.
To answer your question, what Texas ought to do is determine what the mission is in the state perspective. I think that the mission in education ought to be excellence in literature, math, science, and social science. If school districts want to enrich beyond that, more power to them. But at the state perspective, we ought to hone in on 4 subject matters and see if we can do it right. I think tide turning, as I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of turn. It's easy to see a tide turn. Did I say those words? No question that the enemy has tried to spread sectarian violence. They use violence as a tool. We ought to determine the cost per pupil necessary to achieve excellence in the classroom, and we ought to fund it. The funding priority of the state of Texas ought to be the school children of our state, and it has not been under the past 4 years. That we're going to have a draft. You're working hard to put food on your family.
I know that human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
Juvenile justice plan in a minute and a half is a hard task. I will try to do so. The core of crime in Texas is the juvenile justice problem. I think we ought to try 14-year-olds as adults, down to 14 years old as adults, to help our gang task force members fight crime. I know we need to expand the determined sentencing statutes in the state of Texas. We need to have boot camps, reform schools, and detention centers. We should expand the Texas Youth Commission by 1,500 beds. We ought to unseal juvenile records so that teachers, educators, and law enforcement officials know full well who they're dealing with. We need to say to our children, we love you. But we understand in Texas that discipline and love go hand in hand. Underestimated the compassion of our country. I think they underestimated the will and determination of the command.
Our nation is in trouble, in desperate need of a change. We need a new vision, someone to take a stand. Though there are many choices, there is one that has a plan. Barack Obama, he's a man. If you're looking for a better day, a better day, change is on the way. Has a change coming. Come on and join us. It's gonna be a brighter day. If you're looking for a better day, if you are looking for, it's on the way. A change is coming. Hear me when I say, it's gonna be a brighter day. Oh, we have hope and a vision. Yes. Barack Obama. Change is on the way. You join me when I say.
Of its founders.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Think about it.